Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Parthiv. Please finish all your assignments before college reopens.
All right.
Dear AVS, it took me a while to understand or even begin to try and fathom the magnitude of your presence in my life. I write this thinking of all the times I spent, the stories, the memories, and the untold fallacies. It feels as if something is weighing down on my very being. There's a strong sense of guilt for not having done this earlier. This has been long overdue. As I sit down to write, I realize how much I have come to appreciate photographs and how they capture the memories that would otherwise be lost for the rest of mundanity. If it weren't for the few stolen moments that we could capture in the Polaroids, I wouldn't have any evidence of the time that has come to define me. With time, I have become another victim of growing up. And although time has passed, it does not necessarily mean that I've stopped loving the things I used to, but the reasons have changed. For starters, I'm still in love with the rain, but it's no longer because the grounds would be wet and morning conditioning cancelled. I've learned that there would be a time when you'd yearn to take the short walk to CDH while someone fills you in on the drama that you somehow managed to miss. The walks in and around were symbolic. The ones on the LOC could have multiple meanings, while the ones that you took in the morning at the cost of sleep signified the onset of the finale. These would engulf you in a state of melancholic content. The sights and the company are the same, but the feelings attached are amplified threefold. There are moments when out of nowhere I would be struck by a noisy parade of memories that forced me to a halt and relive it all over again. These memories, it feels like I've been transported in time, there in that moment, for me to relive it once again. I think of the first time I crossed the roundabout to go for games. The thumping sound of the basketball being dribbled is still very fresh in my mind. The foggy mornings now remind me of the players whose day would start off as early as the sun. I remember the faces of the people playing in the pavilion under the scorching winter heat. The screams of joy as they would hit it out of the park every single day is still vivid in my memory. I can hear the loud cries of the marching squad, leaving a trail of dust behind as their movements aligned and the sun set with last of the marchers trailing behind at the pace that was almost synonymous to life there. There were so many unknowns. but you'd feel as if everything would fall into place. And it did, eventually. I can't remember the last time someone woke me up for breakfast after I left. I've missed more breakfasts than all my years in school combined. Surprisingly, I missed the rush for morning assemblies and the struggles that ensued. The good seats gave you the right view while deflecting the others from seeing what you were up to. And as the assembly would kick-start with a note from the headmaster, whispers of pass it on would do enough to bring shivers down the spine of every aviator in the crowd. The days never ended with dinner, and that's where the best part of it began. Some would catch up with the ones who they didn't even share a roof with, while the rest strolled back with an ease that only the solitary glow of the streetlights could express. Dinner table conversations carried on to the rooms, and unending stories were recalled. From past memories to future plans, the walls witnessed the friendships unfold. When the twinkling lights wrapped the WMH in the faint hue of warmth, we knew that our time was coming to an end. The years that we spent now ran parallel to the infamous last few months. There was no next time, and every single time when we'd unconsciously think that the next time would be different brought on a strange sense of melancholy. This was it. There won't be another Founders. The rush hour in the afternoons when everyone would be busy working on the exhibitions, or the evenings when, on the pretext of practice, hide and seek was being played. Now that I think about it, I find myself missing the dry runs, for I have realized that there isn't one for life. I won't be walking from one class to another, trying to delay the inevitable as much as I possibly can, or sitting in the quadrangle overlooking the cafe lawns. Sneaking in and out of the classrooms gave me the chance to take in what was once mine to call. I write to you, imagining myself walking those corridors again with a backpack slung over my shoulders, and in the company of the ones who made it home. The missed confessions, veiled truths, and disguised promises need to be told before I am forgotten in the midst of the busy corridors. Before the shimmer of gold that fell over the ironwoods in the mid-March glory fades, and the clouding fog that lulled us to sleep is lifted, I must try to tell you, while I still remember, how it was then, because that is what will never change. Even though my time has long become a memory, the warmth still remains. There won't be a time when my gratitude would even be an inch less than what it is today. It'll just intensify with each passing day. I have found my place, but I long to belong again as I did with you. And even as everything else fades into oblivion, this will remain.